everyone, and welcome to this new edition of Initiative Africa. And this week again, we continue to pull up the curtains to reveal innovators and actors shaking up Africa. We take a look at Africa on the move with stories of transformation, innovation, but also courage and resilience. But before we delve into these inspiring stories, here's the summary of our program. Behind the scenes of Nigerian Afropop resides a force of nature, a voice that transcends borders, and a passion that lights the flames of female emancipation. Discover Jemiriye through her uplifting melodies and feminist message.
My music is a combination of Afro sound. I'll say it's, I call it Afro fusion because it's a fusion of Afropop, Afro jazz, Afro soul, Afro, if you say Afro country.
In Mauritania, empowering women remains a major challenge. Digital is emerging as a beacon of hope by supporting around 20 women during its first edition.
I am already working. I have a fairly stable job in everything, but I know that in the future I plan to set up my business. So I would really like to learn new things and also share experiences with other girls in the future.
Drones that carry bags of blood, draw maps, or even monitor livestock. These small remote-controlled flying devices have arrived in force in Africa.
The return trip used to take 3 hours. Now I have the blood I need 20 minutes after ordering it, and we get it straight to the patient.
We are now joined by Jemiriye, the Nigerian Afropop singer who embodies a blend of musical talent and social commitment. Through her music, she defends causes such as the empowerment of women and the fight against forced marriage.
Being a seasoned business leader by using just a smartphone is the wish of these 20 young women who benefited from a free training program. Digital created by women for women. The goal? To teach young entrepreneurs how to use a wide range of digital tools for purely professional purposes, from showcasing their skills to creating and managing their entrepreneurial activities.
As an entrepreneur, I have a business that I want to develop. I want to take advantage of social media and use technology to better develop my business. But the problem was that I didn't know which tools were necessary, what to use, and when to use them. I discovered applications that I was not aware of. I found tools that can help me professionalize my photos and make them more presentable to better showcase my business to my clients.
From learning photography to mastering social media, creating a website, designing logos or business cards, the young women test all the applications that enable them to ensure good entrepreneurial management at a lower cost and independently.
I am already working. I have a fairly stable job in everything, but I know that in the future I plan to set up my business. So I would really like to learn new things and also share experiences with other girls in the future.
Empowering women is the goal set by the 2 women behind the initiative, whose first edition ran from March 1st to 8th during the International Women's Rights Week.
We have the power of digital technology with which we can help many young girls launch their startups, whether it's a big or a small project. If you don't have the means to create accounts on social media or you don't know the tricks, here with Digitals, we train the girls to create their accounts, to manage them, to plan ahead and to boost posts. Today, each one can use her phone to take a photo, make a video and also learn graphic design, build their resume or make a logo. Truly start a business with just a phone.
Although digital technology contributes to the development of Mauritanian society, gaps in the field persist and threaten to further leave behind the most vulnerable, according to studies. The digital divide between genders is particularly high in the least developed countries, where only 19% of women use the internet compared to 31% of men, according to a study by the United Nations Development Programme. In Mauritania, there's a political will. Some even note the growing interest of women in digital technology. This is the case at the High Institute of Digital Technology, fully funded by the Mauritanian government, where young women make up a large majority of the students.
They like digital, so we see from the statistics, the survey we carried out that the best in the first years are the girls. There is a political will, whether it's the Ministry of Higher Education or the Ministry of Digital Transition, they support the digital economy. And we have the means. They spare no efforts in developing digital education and in setting up digital infrastructures.
This newfound enthusiasm for digital technology in Mauritania is driving more and more people to launch initiatives aimed at training women in the field, similar to Digital, especially since the Mauritanian government has made it a priority.
This conference marks an important step towards the empowerment of women in general, in various aspects of life, particularly in the field of digitization and innovation, which will lead to sustainable and balanced human development free of any form of discrimination and exclusion.
Although parts of Mauritanian territories still struggle to access internet coverage, interest in digital technology continues to grow, stimulating more established missions such as women empowerment. Faced with this surge in female demand for digital training and tools, Digital is already planning its next sessions.
We are now joined by Jemiriye, the Nigerian Afro-pop singer who embodies a blend of musical talent and social commitment. Through her music, she defends causes such as the empowerment of women and the fight against forced marriage.
Hello, Jemiriye.
Hello, Lina. How are you?
You are a Nigerian singer among the most talented on the Afro-pop scene. You have just released your new single, Tule. Tell us how this song came about, who is it for, and what message do you want to send?
All right, I just released Tule. Tule came about as a result of singing for the liberation of, the emotional liberation of the Black woman, or women in general, as the saying should be. And then it's for, okay, like, who is it for women? How did it come about? It came about knowing that a lot of time women are shy to speak up how they feel, especially emotionally, and I'll say especially Black women. It's a very, very big deal. They really, it's not something, it's not almost natural to express yourself emotionally. It's almost a taboo. So that is how this song came about, from like, you know what, women can also speak up and say, I feel this way about you. Why not? And then, yeah, so.
How would you define your music? What are your influences?
My music is a combination of Afro sound. I'll say it's, I call it Afro fusion because it's a fusion of Afro pop, Afro jazz, Afro soul, Afro, if you say Afro country, you know, it's a mixture of everything. So, but yeah, with a touch of the Africanness in it, yeah.
You incorporate traditional Yoruba rhythms into your songs. They come from your grandmother. Can you tell us more?
Oh yes, my music, you know, the incorporation is from my grandma, because I'd lived with her as a child, and she, you know, the environment, the village influenced me a lot. You know, where we were taught a lot of traditional folk music during story times at night, where the children will sit under the tree, and then we get to hear stories from different parts about animals, you know, and then just using the animals to illustrate some moral lesson and pass down to us, like, if you do this, it's bad. If you do that, it's wrong. And if you do this, then it's good. If you make a promise, make sure you keep it. But using the animals as example, and every story actually comes with beautiful music, traditional folk Yoruba music. So that's the interesting part of all of this. And yeah, I'll sing one of the songs very soon, okay? Yeah.
Can you describe this traditional Yoruba rhythms from your childhood to us?
The traditional rhythm, I can describe, but I'll rather show it. So one of the songs, for instance, it's Ajaduro Romileru Ferekufe Bo Baduro Romileru Ferekufe all right, so grandma would teach us these songs, and you have to like call and respond. So if she says Aja, you gotta respond, and then you get to learn, you know, the rudiments of music, even though we're not learning music as a study, but it eventually gets into you. It becomes a part of you. Like every story, there's a music, and then you start to find your own tune. So that's how I found my tune as an artist. Yeah, as a very, very young child, but yeah, eventually became an artist. Yeah.
Tell us about your musical journey. How did it all begin for you?
So my music journey began very, very, very early, like I said. But then it was just I was just singing, right? And then when I moved back to Lagos to stay with my parents, I think my dad said I was a very shy kid who did not really talk to anyone. I just kept to myself a lot. So he said until then I joined the church choir. I guess I was like 6, 7. I joined the church choir. And after that, he said, it was like a different person sprang out of me. Like, who is this girl? I became very lively and interesting. And this was where I knew music gave me my voice. And then I knew this is what I have to do. So my journey began from right there.
In 2005, you put your singing career on hold to take care of your mother during her hospitalization. How did this impact your music and your career?
I practically stopped school, music and everything. This impacted my career in a very, very major way. Number one, I would not say in a bad way, because of course it wasn't very easy. You could have been doing this or doing that, but there's no place I'd rather be at that time than to be with my mom, taking care of her. That meant the world to me, because I feel if my mom spent that time to give me life, it's something I should do for her. And I did that with a lot of, it was a lot of mixed feelings, because there were so many things happening. But I believe that experience actually brought me to where I am today. It trained me. I became a better person. I actually grew up very fast, because you have to deal with a lot of things. You have to take care of, you just become a really, really, really grown adult, not just an adult, but you're responsible. And it just showed me that in life you can prioritize things, but at the same time, family is everything. The love of family is everything. You cannot buy it. And I love my mom, and I'm happy I was able to give her this time of my life, and I'm happy that I did it. Yeah.
Welcome back to the second part of our show. Using drones to bring blood bags to health facilities in need, Rwanda has done it and even has an airfield for drones. In neighboring Tanzania, the capital Dodoma has also called on these small remote-controlled planes to map the country at low cost. Our journalist David Thiombiano had explored the first examples of this drone revolution in Africa. Take a look.
In the Morogoro region of southwest Tanzania, Savina and her family have just one wish: to see an end to the perpetual disputes about agricultural land rights. If they held the land deeds, that wish could so easily come true.
Sometimes people say that they are aware of the boundaries, but then they invade another farm. And if you ask them, they will claim the farm is there, because with the current system, the plots that we own are not properly assessed. So we do not have the title deeds, which means our farming activities are uncertain. In that case, it's inevitable to have land conflict.
Improved land use requires geographical data and precise cartography. In the past, this would require the use of aeroplanes and satellites. Now, all you need is a drone.
In Tanzania, the last photography was in 2008, because the expenses to cater for the aerial photography is higher, and that's why we go for other alternatives. Other alternatives is like using the satellite imageries and now the technology of UAVs. The UAVs are unmanned aircrafts. You don't have pilot, you don't have a crew member. There are a lot of things that you are saving. So that's a very simple technology.
Thanks to the drones, the Tanzanian government has been able to provide 300,000 farmers with land titles. Now that boundaries are clearly established, farmers like Savina can foresee a more stable future and start making plans.
Our expectations are that after they've identified the boundaries of each plot, we will carry on farming, but we will have a title so we can get a loan and invest in our farms, so that we can improve our life.
Tanzania's drone revolution all began several years ago with a series of tests. Uhuru Labs were experimenting with the possibility of using new technologies to limit the effects of natural disasters. The drone soon proved itself to be an essential tool in the decision-making process.
The initial interest was to map a very flood-prone area in Dar es Salaam to get aerial imagery which will show clearly the impact of the flooding straight after the floods. The other reason was to get detailed elevation data, which then can be given to city planners to predict how floodwaters or rainwater will move through the area, and so can appropriately plan. And as you can imagine, drones get a lot of people talking, so Ministry of Lands was about to start this very large land tenure project.
With its drones, the Zanzibar Land Commission has the right tools to draw up high-resolution maps of Tanzanian islands in the Indian Ocean. A total land surface area of 2,300 square kilometers.
Initially, when we fly with aerial mapping in 2004, we get the aerial mapping with the resolution of 25 centimeters. But now with drone, over all the land, we will fly with a resolution of 7 centimeters. So this will be very good resolution, is amazing. Everything you can see.
In neighboring Rwanda, drones also improved healthcare. This small device carried blood bags to a hospital located on the other side of the country, where a patient urgently needed a transfusion to survive.
I was walking along when I got knocked down by a motorbike. I got the blood I needed very quickly. It was almost miraculous. I really don't know how to tell you how I felt. It was like a miracle from Jesus. The return trip used to take 3 hours. Now I have the blood I need 20 minutes after ordering it, and we get it straight to the patient.
For the past 2 years, the drone has been an integral part of Rwanda's healthcare system. Its mission? To save lives, and it does so by delivering blood bags and medicine to 21 hospitals in the southern and western provinces. Rwanda has even had an aerodrome built for drones and has hired the services of a leading robotics company, Zipline, to handle the drones.
The first thing is to expand it to other regions, and secondly, we are looking at other products that can be delivered through with the drones services. There are some vaccines that are used in emergency, like anti-rabies, snake venom, anti-serum.
Copy that. That's 2-7, right?
If we can find ways in which technology enables the empathy workforce, the health workers, the education workers, and the child care specialists, those who take care of older people, if we can do that, then we might just be able to get out ahead of the wave of technology that we fear is going to lead to huge job losses.
Blood from the skies, land disputes diffused, the impact of natural disasters reduced. The use of drone technology has meant a giant leap forward in the process of improving the day-to-day lives of millions of Africans, which inevitably raises a key question. They are cheap, they are effective, and they are versatile. So why aren't African nations jumping at the chance to enroll their services in their development strategies?
And we're back with our guest, Jemiriye, for the rest of this interview. Find out more about her fight for equality and the inspirations that shape her unique art.
In your songs, you campaign for the African child's education and against child marriage. Why is this subject so important to you?
Campaigning against child marriage means so much to me because I believe every child, be it male or female, deserves, the right to know what life has in stock for them. But if you just pick a child up as early as 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, oh my God, I think it's horrific. Because then you kill every chances that kid might have to dream. Then you just take that child away from herself or himself, but it's usually for women, for the girls, and then that's the end of your life. You just need to become this man's wife, and that's all you can be. And this, to me, I think it's horrible. It's horrible. I don't think any child should go through this. And my godmom at the time, my godmom in Nigeria, she told me, Chief Nika Davis, she told me how at 13, they wanted to marry her off, and she had to run away. She ran away, and then she went to start her life over. And now she's one of the greatest black women alive. If she had stayed in that first marriage and she did not run away for her dear life, God knows what would have happened right now. She would have just been a nobody, and that's the end of it. So child marriage, I think it's something we should abolish completely in Africa.
Do you believe artists have a significant role to play in African society?
I believe artists have a very, very significant role to play in liberation of Africa, because if artists keep quiet, then shame on us. Because we have the floor, we have the spotlight, and if you have that much, I'll say if you have that much privilege to be, people hear your voice, and then you use it for only stupid stuff, then shame on you. Because how are you going to help the people that cannot speak for themselves? The people that do not have the floor like we do. So when you have the floor and then you do not help humanity, the next generation will continue in the same suffering. And then what have you done? You've only enriched your pocket. You've only enjoyed your own big moments being a superstar. And then you let down the next generation, because the same problem is going to stay, and it will keep piling up without any change. And then we need a change. We need a better world. I prefer artists to use their voices and make the world a better place for everyone to live.
You lived in the United States for 10 years. How has this period shaped your career and personal life?
Living in the United States for over 10 years has shaped my life, because being a blend of both worlds has helped me to see, I see life as an African, I see life as an American. And then I can compare. And I can say, oh, I don't like this thing happening in Africa. And I see how it's being done in America. I think I can also add some of my experience here and bring it to Africa. Can we also do things like this? Of course, to fit our own environment, but we can do things better, because when I was here, things were done this way. So it has shaped my life a lot, because I've been a part of both worlds, and I've seen, it helped me to see the world not just from a viewpoint of an African, but I can see the world now on a broader view, like, oh, we can do things better, we can do things better, or we can come together to collaborate and do things together.
You currently live in Paris. Do you find inspiration in this city?
Yeah, I currently live in Paris. I actually love Paris. I love the culture. I love the culture. I love the bread. That's true. I love the culture, and the people are pretty receptive. Of course, the Parisians or the French in general are very reserved, which is okay. But I'm learning that. So I'm a mixture of the Lagos life, the American life, and I'm like, okay, now you have to like take it easy and peel it slowly. Just try to understand the culture. But besides all that, when I see all the historic things happening here, things that have been done thousands of years, 1,000 years ago, I'll be like, oh my goodness, that gives me a sense of belonging. Like, I think I belong to a history here, because it's beautiful, it's amazing, and it's just I love Paris. It's the truth. It's just in my heart. I don't know how this happened. I travel a lot. I'm like, nice place, and that's about it. But I felt at home here.
What are your ambitions for the future?
So ambition for the future is I want to make sure that, okay, personally, of course, keep growing my music career, making sure it crosses everywhere. It goes everywhere in the world, and then being able to pass my message for women liberation through my music, through my foundation, to be able to help women and children in Africa, and then also being able to help the youth to find their voices, knowing that, listen, it's not going to be a smooth ride, because the world looks very easy these days because of the social media. I want to be able to use my voice to help the youth. Like, sometimes it's going to be rough, but you just have to hold on. Your tenacity is actually your joy, and when you make it, you'll be proud. So my ambition is to use my music as a tool for liberation for women, of course, and entertainment, because I love to dance and I like to have fun. So yes, all of that put together in one box, yeah.
You will release your next single. Can you tell us more?
I will be releasing my next single in, say, like in a month, and the next song is called Commando. I just let the cat out the bag, so get ready. Commando is it's a continuation of Tule. It's all of that expression put together, but in a more daring form now. So, and I'm super excited, because after that then comes the EP. So we're working so hard to make sure the EP is out and in the album. So Commando is just gonna be ready. Let me be a commando for the night. There's a sneak peek of that. Yes. Thank you.
Well, that's it. Initiative Africa is over for today. You can find the interview with Jemiriye as well as our programs on our website, africaonair.com. And of course, don't hesitate to follow us on our social media channels and to share, like, and comment with the hashtag Initiative Africa. And don't forget to tune in next week, same time, same channel, with Business Africa. Have a great week, and until next time, goodbye.